Welcome, Purely Arsenal Instant Reaction Podcast live. It's Arsenal 1, Ipswich 0 in a game that maybe, some of us were expecting a little bit more, but 3 points in the end, which is the most important thing in a very taxing schedule to us at the moment. Arriving late from the 8, Kai Havertz gets the winner, 7 goals, 2 assists now for him, 1 away from hitting double figures for him, and he's played a lot of his games at the at the 8 this season, like he did in this game. So let's get into it. The lineup. So he went with all the big guns. So the thing now with Saka being out is if you decide to go Martinelli as your first choice right winger option, and therefore you have to play Trossard on the left. And by doing that, you don't really leave yourself a lot of option at the bench if Jesus is taking up the number 9 position. And I think we saw that. I mean, we didn't really make an attacking sub, I don't believe. In this game, we brought Marino on and Thomas Partey on. But and that would be where I would look at it and think, how many 90-minute games have Trossard and Martinelli played? Is this going to be something we can really foreseeably do for, in the short term until Bukayo Saka's back fit? Maybe he's talking to the board there. Maybe he's saying, look what I've got on my bench here. I've got 4 left backs and a 17-year-old attacking player. But in the end, you did purchase those 4 left backs. So it's partly how you've distributed your funds. So that's a discussion for another time. But I do think when I looked at the lineup, kind of expected. Partey was dropped for Rice. That was interesting to see a Rice-Havertz combination. I kind of wanted to see that against Palace in a way, so it was interesting. I thought Rice and Havertz both individually had good games. I'm still not 100% sure that I love that combination in midfield, though. But Ipswich, they sat really deep, didn't they? I've watched them a little bit this season. I've never seen them set up like that in any team, against any big team. They just sat extremely deep. And even when we went 1-0 up, they didn't really break out of it at all. And I think in many ways, the control that occurred in this game would have been a dream for Mikel Arteta, as opposed to the Palace game. I'm sure he loved the fact that they had 0.15 XG. And their best chance was in the first 20 seconds where no one actually connected to a cross that deflected off of Timber. But other than that, it was completely one-way traffic, but we didn't create a lot. Four shots only in the first half, but the goal did come in the first half. It was a great move down the left. Trossard gets in, and it's a really good cross from Trossard. And Havertz makes that late run into the box that we want him to do more of, which he didn't do for a couple of Martinelli's cross earlier, which I think we'll talk about. But it's a great run. He hits it with his weaker foot, side foot, into the top corner, and the keeper can't do anything about it. And it's a really, really good goal. And you hope at that point that kind of opens the floodgates, but it didn't really occur. And Ipswich didn't really seem too bothered about coming out of their block and their back 5 and sitting there. And we've got to be better about sort of being creative and breaking it down. What I really liked, in terms of some of the ways we try to break down in this game was, and I think we should do more of it, is if you remember Timber and Odegaard had a couple of runs through the box where they just ran through the centre of the pitch. Odegaard did it twice in the second half. Timber did it once in the first half and had a shot from the edge of the area. More of that, please. More of that. Declan Rice can do a lot of that. Shots from the edge of the box. Odegaard's one got tipped over. And second half, obviously, the big chance was the Gabriel header. I bet you can't believe he's missed it. It's just a great corner in from Rice, I believe, and it's a really, really good header, position-wise, and I think, it clips the post, but I don't know how he's missed it, really. It's point blank, 4 or 5 yards out, and, he needs to do better, really, there, but it didn't matter in the end. We got the 1-0 win. Jesus at the 9, I don't think he got great service in there. I thought he did well, though. I thought he harried well. I thought he didn't drop too deep. We kind of looked like we were telling him to sort of keep his position more. He did have a goal in the first half that was ruled out for offside, but it was a lovely move. Ball from Trossard and a lovely little flick through the legs of the goalkeeper. I was quite impressed with Jesus in this game. I didn't have an issue with him. Martinelli at right wing. I don't think we're going to be able to do this with Saka's absence by just using one option. With Odegaard's absence, that's basically what we did. We basically did a Trossard hybrid, Havertz hybrid thing, and we kind of ran that until the wheels fell off. I'm not certain we can do that this way. I don't think we can replicate what Saka provides us. So I think what we're going to have to do is think what's perfect for each game state. Obviously, Martinelli's an option, and I think when he simplifies his game down the right wing and gets those crosses in from the byline, he does well. At other times, he looks a little one-dimensional. But you could have said that on the left wing with Martinelli, to be honest. But I think we should consider other options. Ranieri being an option. I think we should also consider Gabriel Jesus as a wide option. I don't like the option of Kai Havertz that he mentioned, to be honest. I think we should be keeping him at the 9 or at times at the 8. Because I think that's where he's been best. Certainly at the 9, I think that's where he's been best. But yeah, I thought, quick mention for our fullbacks. I thought Timber was fantastic again. And I thought MLS up, Lewis Skelly up against Amari Hutchinson, who switched sides at times, to be honest. Got a little bit of a boo, Amari Hutchinson, which I had no problem with. Any player that goes to Chelsea at any point in their career, I'd happily boo him. And also, to be honest, Amari Hutchinson was a little bit lucky to not get booked or more for 2, what I think are pretty pathetic dives. And if you're going to call them as a dive, I think the second one he called as a handball, but basically you're calling it a dive at that point, because how's he fallen down on it? If you're going to call it as a dive, you've got to book the player, because that's play acting. You've got to book him, and he got away with 2 dives and a couple of fouls, and I don't think he even got booked. Luckily, we didn't get a booking for Timber or Jesus. They have to see out one more game for to not get suspended, because they are on 4 yellow cards each. The last thing is just, deep block problems. How can we be better? And I do think that running through the midfield is better. Our movement needs to be quicker and sharper. And I think, we might need something in the January window. We look very, very light in attack, especially when you put out a lineup like that and you look at our bench. We look extremely light in the attacking area. Maybe we can do something in January. I'm not certain we can, but if there is an ability to do something, a Kudus, an Mbeumo, a Cunha, something like that would be great. No international loans, please. No more loans. Don't want any of that. And then I guess the inability to sub. We just didn't make a lot of attacking subs. Like I said previously, I'm not sure about Martinelli and Trossard playing full 90 minutes. And Jesus, I included that. The only one we can really trust for that with longevity has been Kai Havertz. So that's something for Mikel to think about. I think he's going to have to trust in Ranieri at some point. I thought it'd be this game, to be honest, because I'm not sure I see him using Ranieri much for the next 2 away games. So we've got Brentford next on New Year's Day. But hey, Kai says bye to 2024 with a lovely goal and a 1-0 win for the Arsenal. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Subscribe, like, comment. Appreciate it.